What's up, everybody, and welcome to Around the Monitor for the week of August 28th. I'm your host, King Kaiser, and this is the weekly gaming news talk show where every point you make in the discussion is a point towards winning. Joining us once again, we've got the unlucky tacticianer, maybe the thirsty tacticianer, the Green 8 Ball.
I got apparently my name changed and revoked again after my last fail on the Iron Man, so good to be back. That one was tragic.
We've got the Ace Attorney, Dapper Dastard.
Hello.
We've got Master Hand Mizuki.
8 Ball stole my spot.
He's the Green 8 Ball.
I didn't move, it was fucking Kaiser.
And last but not least, we've got the hockey sticks and sickle himself, Ian.
No context, but Twitter is hell.
Twitter is hell. Can't
Twitter
confirm.
is hell.
If this is your first time watching, we normally start the show with a trivia question to determine the order. And this week's trivia question is Fall Guys. Crazy successful game. Runaway success. Currently the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game of all time. But we also have sales numbers on Steam. My question to you is, how many copies has Fall Guys sold on Steam already?
See, I saw this number.
I
don't remember the number.
Oh, okay.
I think I did also see this number because it is the number 1 and 2 best selling game on Steam for the past week.
Yeah, it's crushing it.
3.7 million.
3.7.
I'm gonna go 2 million.
2 mil?
Yeah.
6 million.
6 million.
Yeah.
2.5 mil.
The correct answer is 7 million.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that game is doing incredible.
Okay, because I was thinking the number I saw was from the first couple days on Steam or something. It was almost 2 million or something like that.
Yeah, it has not slowed down in the slightest.
Jesus. Okay.
So that means our order is going to be Dapper, followed by 8 Ball, followed by Mizuki, followed by Ian. The topics for this week's show include, God damn it, I guess Netflix is doing a Resident Evil TV series now because every game has to be turned into a show or a movie this year. LabZR Games employees resign in protest of Mike Z. The DualSense controller might be able to tell who's playing it by their touch. We've got our first look at Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game and Gotham Knights, the new games both in the Batman universe, but neither of which seem to have Batman in them. You can now register for an opportunity to maybe pre-order the PlayStation 5, but you might not get it. Also, we don't know the price yet. What's going on? Halo Infinite has brought in a veteran writer/director to help them finish the game. Call of Duty Cold War was officially announced this week. It is going to cost $60 on current gen, but $70 on next gen consoles. The indie game Sinking City is pulled from storefronts over legal dispute with their publisher. Unreal Engine is apparently safe for now on Apple, but Fortnite still is not after a judge's ruling this week. Fall Guys is going to be coming to mobile in China, although it does not seem like that will be the case in the rest of the world for now, at least. And Burger King has been using Twitch streams to advertise. It's burgers, I suppose.
Yeah, I missed that article. It's on page 2.
It's very interesting. Sorry, yeah, it's a
God, I
secret.
got out of the dentist, so I'm ill prepared. So
Hey,
I'm ready to go.
At least you got shiny teeth. Dapper, where would you like to start us this week?
All right. Since Fisher isn't here, I'm going to go into the most fighting game tangentially related topic and talk about Lab Zero.
Heck yeah. Tell us about the creator of Skullgirls.
All right. So, obviously, as we know, there's been a lot of coming to light of inappropriate workplace content in the gaming industries. And one of the most flagrant recent examples has been Mike Zymont, or just known as Mike Z, the head of Lab Zero, who are the creators of most notably Skullgirls, but also Indivisible.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Z has been in a bit of trouble before. It wasn't too long ago. He made a pretty shitty racist joke. I can't remember exactly what was said, but it got him into a lot of hot water. He seemed pretty contrite after it, and well, obviously that's never gonna. I mean, obviously no one has to accept an apology, but it seemed to satisfy a good amount of people. And then this broke.
Yes.
And now there are multiple reports of pretty weirdly like company-wide agreement that he is just multiple accounts of harassment and abuse towards employees at Lab Zero Games. And what this has resulted in is multiple employees resigning in quick succession. And like these are been like some of the people are people who have been with the company since like it began, like people who have been there for like 8 to 10 years, who thought that like their interactions with him that were bad were just little isolated incidents, and then once everyone started talking to each other, they're like, oh, he does this to everyone, all the time. Oh shit. So yeah, now and so there's several employees resigning. We don't have an exact number, and I can't seem to find an exact number of actually how big Lab Zero is. I know it's obviously not super big because it's an indie company and they've only done 2 games, so I know it's not super big, but I couldn't find any exact numbers on how many people are leaving or how many they have total. But needless to say, it's pretty much going to be essentially the end of Lab Zero. Again, I don't know the exact numbers, but it is a small team, and enough people are leaving where it's going to be really hard for them to go on. Which sucks because I mean both Skullgirls and Indivisible are good games, and it seems like Mike is the sole problem there. It's not a company culture outside of the fact that it's one person creating it. But it's not like, a whole bunch of people who are all the problems. It's just the person with 100% ownership is an ass. But the one good caveat out of this is that Lab Zero doesn't actually have the Skullgirls IP anymore. It belongs to the publisher, another group. So the good news is even if Lab Zero inevitably does crumble, Skullgirls should continue because better people have control over it. But yeah, basically, one guy's inability to take any accountability or improve himself is going to pretty much drag Lab Zero to its doom. And if that's how he's going to be, good riddance.
Very, very well put. 8-Ball, you're up next.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Suicide Squad topic.
Heck yeah. Tell us about Rocksteady's new game.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, Kaiser kind of briefed it a little bit, where they don't have Batman in it. I've always said this. We have a 2-minute topic. So
yeah,
there,
correct.
I've always said that Batman is one of the few major characters that you can actually make games around his villains and probably get away with it, or media, anything in general, movies, stuff. Their characters are so good. His villains are so good. You can probably build off them and still make a very stable story-based game, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
This game, all it needs to do to be very successful is don't be as bad as the movies, which is not as bad or not as hard to do when you're in a video game because you can take time and effort and the player can play at their own pace. You don't have to entertain this specific crowd to do this. You can do it at your own pace. This is an unachievable thing to do this with Harley Quinn or Deadshot this time. So you just do this. You can play the game as him, her, whatever. So that's good. If you can go at your own pace, you're not fit in the 2-hour time frame. Excellent. It's also going to be easier to do than Marvel's Avengers. There's not many superhero games that, unless you're a non-powered superhero game, not trapped in a fighter, so I'm not going to count Injustice, that do well. Spider-Man's one of the few exceptions. There was a Hulk game, 1 or 2, that was pretty decent too. It's just hard to contain superhero powers and do them well without making them feel too overpowered. So human-esque, as in Suicide Squad members, much easier to do. It's easier than what Marvel Avengers was trying to do. And if you're better than that game and you're fresh on people's mind, this game, they call me Captain Optimism, obviously. This game has a chance. I liked what I saw there. I liked the trailer. It was great. Again, maybe it's because I like the media a little bit more than most people would, because I'm actually a fan of the series itself. But I think this game has a decent chance. I would check out the trailer, and all it has to do, like I said, be better than Marvel Avengers, be better than a movie, and use your characters that you have available to you, and just Rocksteady is great. They make great games. I trust them, so I'll give them a chance, and I'll see if they come out with more and more stuff and see what they can do. So
yeah,
I look forward to this.
I agree 100% with you. I think we have no reason to doubt them. The one thing that does worry me is the rumors that it is also apparently a games as a service type game like Marvel's Avengers, which is like, oh guys, just make a single player game. That's all we have to do. But we'll see.
Let's hope that when they take an anti-hero route, which I like, they're not Shadow the Hedgehog and more Star Wars Bounty Hunter instead. So
that's good. I like that.
Yeah, that was really well worded.
Give that man a point.
I did.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Mizuki, what would you like to talk about for your first topic?
Let's talk Unreal and Apple.
Hey, that thing's still going on, isn't it?
Oh, it's gonna go on for a while.
You mean they didn't settle their entire lawsuit in 2 weeks?
They didn't. They didn't settle in 2 weeks. So last week, I don't know who talked about it on the show, but basically Microsoft put their hand in the ring and was like, "Hey, Apple, it's cool if you want to ban Fortnite on your platform, but please don't ban the Unreal Engine on your platform. That will fuck over like so many people." And apparently a judge agreed, which sort of was shocking, but I guess judges are getting better with technology, like now that we're like in that age where they actually understand what's being told. So basically, to summarize, Apple took Unreal Engine's developer keys away, which would prevent any future updates to the Unreal Engine for iOS, which would fuck over any developer that's currently on Unreal Engine using iOS, because they would no longer get updates if the devices change. I saw some stories that Unreal was losing their what's it called? Not validation key. It's like an identity key. Like when you say you download something on your computer and it's like, oh, are you sure you want to run this? It came from this company. Those are all like verified. So where it would say Unreal Engine or Epic Games, individual developers, if they weren't using their own key, would have to actually go get their own, push an update out so that it wasn't using Epic's. Like like Unreal Engine 5, whatever mobile support that has, would be totally scuttled at this point. So it was actually, I think, a bigger deal than the Fortnite news that they were removing their developer key. So a bunch of companies came out and submitted like, hey, this would do irreparable harm to a bunch of unrelated third parties if Apple takes this away while in the midst of litigation. At least give a stay until the litigation's done. So court agreed. They're like, yeah, this would do an incredible amount of damage. So at least until the court finishes the main case between Apple and Epic will continue to have their developer license. But that doesn't mean that after the litigation's over, they will have it. So if you're Unity right now, you're in a good place. If you're running on Unity, you're happy. If you're running on Unreal Engine, you're still a little sketched out. Like, you're super sketched. I was listening to Play, Watch, Listen, like Alana Pierce's podcast earlier this week, and one of the guys on there, Austin Wintry, works on The Pathless, which is apparently supposed to come out on Apple Arcade soon, but uses Unreal Engine. So they're between a fucking rock and a hard place. Because, as soon as the new Apple phones come out, if there's a different like screen resolution that wasn't in previous versions, that can literally fuck up every game from running on it that exists on the current version of Unreal.
Oh man.
It's like, this has such big implications for the rest of game development that I just can't fucking believe Apple went that hard on them.
It's crazy. I'm excited to see how this unfolds, but like Dapper said, I think this is gonna keep being in the news cycle for months.
Gonna be there for months. I don't see this being done. Definitely not done in 2020, I don't think.
But hey, hashtag save Fortnite, guys. Ian, what would you like to talk about for your first topic?
All right. I was going to talk about Epic, but I figured that one would be taken. So instead, I'm going to talk about the PS5 like pre-orders. This is really fucking something. We still, as we mentioned, literally every single fucking week on this show, we still don't have a price or a date for either of these consoles, specifically now the PlayStation 5, but they've sent out or they've like posted a link or whatever where you can sign up to maybe get an invitation to pre-order a PlayStation 5 without knowing how much it'll cost. But it's like, you send in your email and some information about yourself, and then maybe you'll get an invitation, and that invitation might allow you to pre-order if supplies allow.
Right.
Which means a lot of things. For one, what the fuck? This is like 5 layers of obstruction to getting a PlayStation 5 like at release date. And it's 5 layers of like maybes. For 2, it's like every it's tied to your PSN ID, and every one of these is there's like a limited number of things you can get. It's like 1 PS5 or digital edition, 2 controllers, charging stations, 2 wireless headsets, 2 media remotes, 2 cameras for some reason. I don't know why anyone would want 2 cameras for 1 PlayStation 5.
2 cameras, 1 PS5, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, how are you asking people to jump through all of these hoops? And people are doing it, obviously, because people want a PS5. Totally. But how are you asking people to walk through all of these fucking hoops to get something that we don't know how much it costs, we don't know when it releases, we have no knowledge about it? And the other thing is, I think the main part of this is, this means that there's going to be a heavily limited amount of PS5s. Because, like, I don't think this has been done before. This means that probably due to COVID and due to, everything, the production has been limited, which I think it's probably going to be the same for the Xbox, right? And for now, it looks like Sony is going to win this console generation. That's kind of the perspective, just because they have all the exclusives. We'll see how that actually turns out. But for now, how is only like a very small amount of people being able to buy it in the first, well, I say at launch, but it's, if they've got production issues at launch, they're going to have production issues for probably at least 6 months. How's that going to affect the future of the console and the future of the console generation?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Real quick, show of hands. Who registered for
oh yeah.
fans?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know how much it costs, but until I know, at least I'll sign up to pre-order it, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. Starting back in the order again, Dapper, what would you like to talk about for your second topic?
We're going to talk about some Burger King.
The king.
All right, so as most people know, because we are video game enjoyers and we probably watch Twitch, Twitch has a feature where if you donate to a streamer, they can choose to have you can attach some like text to your donation, and a bot will read the text on stream. And it's sort of a cool way for, streamers to hear who donated from them and give them a chance to say a little response back. It's a nice little bit of interaction between streamer and community. And obviously people will attempt to use it to say dumb and inappropriate things. Sometimes there's good controls on preventing them, and the streamer can just ban or refund the donation if they don't really like what the person said. But generally, it's kind of a cool feature. But recently, some streamers started getting $5 donations, and the text for them were advertisements for Burger King. And what was later discovered is that it's a New York ad agency, Ogle, Ogilvy.
It's a bad name. It's a dumb name.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's an ad agency that obviously probably has a bunch of different clients, but one of which is Burger King, who was basically making these $5 donations to basically turn Twitch streamers into Burger King ads without that streamer's permission. I don't feel like I have to really explain how incredibly douchey, just how low class and scumbag of a move that is. The $5 is a pathetically low amount for like an actual like ad an actual sponsorship or ad agreement. It's nothing. It's literally nothing to Burger King.
For $5 you can go to Burger King and buy a quarter pounder and a side of fries.
True.
Instead of donating to the streamer.
Right.
So it's like that's what it actually feels like. They bought a burger for the streamer in like return for them advertising for them, which again is really shitty because ad time is worth more than that. So rightfully so, people are getting really, really pissed about this. This is super scummy. This is not how marketing works. This is not how it's not how sponsorships work. This is just some ad agency trying to cheapen their way to free publicity, and it's absolute bullshit. So hopefully, again, I don't really know what
can be done.
what tools or mechanisms Twitch has to control this or stop this, or what tools they can give to streamers. Because obviously it certainly doesn't violate any laws or per se, but like I really hope there's something that can be done, because hopefully if even just the backlash is enough, they stop doing this, because this is definitely a shitty thing and very unfair to streamers.
Yeah, it's it's such a, like you said, it feels like somebody at this ad agency had a clever idea of like, hey, we can pay $5. We can pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and get a commercial, or we can just pay these streamers that have a few hundred viewers at a time $5 and get our ad read by them. Boom, that's the way to do it, and so far it's working. And hell, here we are talking about it, so they're getting even more publicity for free. They're not paying us, unless you want to. Burger King, hit me up.
Honestly, even a $5 sponsorship, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Burger King, I'm on Twitch. Find me.
Give me $5, Burger King.
Speaking of 8-Ball, what would you like to talk about for your first topic, or second topic? Sorry.
Second, yeah. I'm gonna go with Resident Evil.
Hey.
I'm gonna go with Resident Evil.
Tell us about the Wesker twins.
Yeah, I'll do my best. So there's of you out there who speak Latin. A lot of you guys, obviously. Omne trium perfectum. Everything that comes in threes is perfect, right? So I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why this is an imperfect reason.
Is that what that sentence means in Latin?
Quote me. Anyway. So first of all, I would say oversaturation of the market. Resident Evil, zombie-ish, whatever you want to call it, disease, virus, whatever you want to say. We just got out of that. Now we're going to superheroes, and now we're going back to that. No, we don't go reverse. Give me a little bit of time, okay? Like I want a little bit of wiggle room here. Second thing is you want your groundwork laid out for you when you make a Netflix series, especially on a video game series. I wouldn't pick Resident Evil. The groundwork is laid out all over the fucking place. There's like 5 different games that like, this one goes here. 7, that's
There's
a reboot.
7 games, yeah.
5 is we're in just the middle of nowhere now. 3, 2, like whatever. They're just all over the place. They rebooted it like several times. It's just too much. And then like, who are you gonna appease? The old fans, the new fans, Karen. Like, who do you want? I don't know. So like, you got to pick one, and I think Resident Evil is a bad place to start because there's just too many loose ends. Even though it might make a good story, it's pretty actually complicated, Resident Evil, because I don't understand it. I'm a gamer. Sorry, sucks. Anyway, the last reason, the perfect reason, is the guy quoted himself as saying, "Oh, Resident Evil is like one of my favorite game series." Okay, dude, Ocarina is one of my favorite game series. I'm not gonna hire Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things to star as Link in a Netflix series called Hyrule Tales. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to see a skin tight bodysuit fucking tingle in real life. Some games translate really well over to Netflix, and some don't. And I think you just leave the games that are successful and thriving where they need to be, in the space that they need to be. I don't need Mario. We had that. Bob, the name slips me.
Yeah,
they tried that. They tried that. Just leave everything alone.
With what you're saying, they already made a series of Resident Evil movies, and guess what? They were all awful.
They made a Mortal Kombat series of movies too, and they're bad. They're famous lines of how bad they are. They made a fucking any fighter. They made a Tekken one. The guy does an execution on a dude. I'm like, that's not the right game at all. But cool, whatever.
Yeah.
He's executed that guy. Sure. So just some things are just left. Like, I know it's your favorite game. Play it as a game. You don't have to make a Netflix series out of it. Come up with something else. You made Walking Dead, and sure, it's different from what it used to be. But like, dude, chill.
Yeah.
I just want to butt in for 1 second. I took 2 semesters of Latin with Green 8 Ball, so I can attest to his Latin skills.
Cease!
Get
degrees!
Does that really mean perfection comes in threes?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Or does that mean both of these guys got C's and don't know what they're talking about?
No, I did really good Latin. Jason has ups and downs.
Mizuki, what would you like to talk about for your second topic? Gosh, third topic. There's not even a third topic in this show.
I mean, it's the third topic of the round.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some fucking weird ass more DualSense patents.
Sony just loves making these weird patents that they never do anything with, but every time they come out, we have to talk about them because they're so weird.
See, Sony, what they like to do, they like to make a patent, and then they're like, here's a patent. I really hope nobody finds this and gives us feedback on it. Really hope that doesn't happen. Please don't publish this, IGN. And then IGN publishes it. A bunch of people read it. And everyone's first reaction is, no. Don't do this. We already don't have any privacy in our world. Let's not make the way we hold, move, how fast we use the sticks, what position we sit in when we play. I don't need Sony to know that. Like, I don't need this. Sony doesn't need this. They're like, oh man, you know what? Logging in is really hard. It's just really hard to log into your profile. It's almost like when you turn your PlayStation on, if it's the first profile, the only one you use, you just hit X. You don't even need the screen to be on yet. Or like if you share one, you hit the analog stick to the right or left a little bit and you hit X. I don't need this to detect my profile, man. Like, I don't need this.
Here's the extra problem to this. I don't know if you're aware, but if you have the PlayStation camera, which I do to play PSVR, it can also detect your face and then instantly log you in. So there is no reason on God's green earth to add another detection method and put it in the controller.
I'll give them they have another reason, which is there aren't that many PSVRs and therefore not that many PlayStation cameras out there in the world. So like, I get having a more ubiquitous method that everyone gets like touched by, but oh my god, no!
Everyone gets touched by.
Yeah, literally.
You're...
I hate this so much. And the patent was like, well, we could even maybe use this technology for the DS4 or like the Move controllers or even the PSVR headset. It's like basically using gyroscopes and a bunch of stuff that's already in your controller. And I'm just like, no, please, just stop. Just don't do this. So they make the patent and then they're just going to let it die. At least I fucking hope. Because I can't imagine anyone wants this. This is one of the dumbest patents I've ever seen. There is literally no impact for this. They had those other ones where like, oh, it can detect your heart rate or how much you're sweating. And I'm like, cool. I can see that being in like a horror game or something neat and being fun and interactive. No, this just fucking logs you in. Fuck off. I don't need this. I don't want this. No one needs this. Just let it die.
I was gonna say, what if they combine the two, and when you pick up the controller, it detects how sweaty your hands are, and it's like, oh, this is Tom playing now.
I mean,
Like,
at that point, they might as well just have a little like box in there that just takes in some of the sweat, runs a quick DNA test on it, and it's like, bam, this is fucking Mizuki.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn the difficulty on this game down because he's a shitter. Like, they might as well just go to that. Like,
oh, this is a real shitter player.
The middle, man.
God. Yeah.
Or like put it in Fall Guys, man. Just have like 60 people join and then like just detect the DNA and be like, oh man, it's fucking Dr. Lupo. He's the best player. He just wins. Bam, done. You don't even need to play the game anymore.
Becomes the most
Easy.
elitist game. Ian, bring us home. What's the final topics this week?
All right, I'm going to talk about some more distressing news. Maybe not distressing, but news that doesn't look great for Halo. Yeah. So Halo Infinite was supposed to come out like at launch of the PS or the Xbox Series X, which is a terrible name. It was supposed to, and recently, about a week ago, it was delayed to 2021. And the reason behind it is they needed more time to polish the game. They needed they were subcontracting out a bunch of parts of the game, and they needed more time there. And now this comes out recently. They're bringing back Joseph Staten, who was lead writer for Halo 1, and I believe like one of the head writers for 2, 3, and Reach, and worked on Destiny as well. So he's like a veteran of the Halo games, like one of the earliest people to work on them. This game was supposed to release in like 3 months.
Yeah.
This is not the time to be bringing in like a project lead.
Yeah.
Which means that this, like, we were severely underestimating how far behind this project is. Or how broken it is right now. Like, there's two explanations for this. One, they've barely even done anything on the game. And they pretty much have just been able to make like demos for like Summer Game Fest and things like that, which weren't even that good. And the other thing is they just decided that this game is bad as it is now, and they're completely like restarting the game, or at least shifting the game in a major way.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only explanation for bringing in a new like lead to a project this late in development, which means to say, for one, I've seen people say that the delay is going to lead to less crunch. That's just patently like not true.
Historically is never the case. Yeah,
historically never the case. It just means they're going to be crunching for even longer. Especially if what I'm speculating is true. That means they are going to have to like get this out as soon as fucking possible, because it's like the mainstay of the Xbox One lineup for now. Xbox One X, not Xbox One X, Xbox Series X has not a lot going for it right now. So getting this out soon is imperative, which means that these developers are going to be working fucking day and night. They're not going to sleep, because if they're pretty much restarting the game and have to get it out by like probably early 2021, I feel for them. I feel very sorry for them. On the other hand, with that said, I hope this game turns out well. I hope that we don't have a good history of games being completely, or media being completely rewritten at the end of its cycle. I mean, we were talking about Suicide Squad, the game. Just look at Suicide Squad, the movie. Like, that's kind of what happened to it, is that it just got bounced around various creative leads. So honestly, that's my perspective for what's going to happen to this game, and it's probably not going to be very good. I hope, for the sake of the creatives on this team, and for the sake of the people who love Halo and who are excited for this, that it turns out well. I think we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's very unclear how much he is going to be able to have an effect on the finishing of this game. Like you said, I imagine this is probably getting shipped until next holiday season, which is a full year. But how much still is he going to be able to change on this game in that time period?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to prove themselves, and so far it's not gone great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that remains in the future. For now, we have to crown a winner, which means Dapper, Mizuki, and Ian, it's time to go home and become family men, because this week's winner is the Green 8-Ball.
Again, it's the last time you'll see this room, too, on any media.
Hey, actually,
Probably.
Same for this one. I'm moving on Tuesday, baby.
Is the green space... Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Is the green space gone?
Yeah, no. Are you ready for your minute to win it?
Yeah.
All right, please take it away.
Oh, man. All right, shout out to my dentist. Good guy. Second of all, I'm always going to bring these up very early on in these minute to win it almost every time if I ever come on the show. Kaiser still needs to play Shadow Tactics, and Dapper needs to play or watch at this point. I don't care. Danganronpa V3. Please. That's all I would want. Get on those guys about it. Fight him. Mizuki, he's played everything he needs to play. He's good. In the end, I don't know what he does with his life. He listens to Carly Rae Jepsen. So, other than that, like, obviously there's a lot of political stuff here. I would say one of the big things is, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I will say that one of the key things I've always noticed, wise words, is pay attention, not maybe to, you got to look at, like, how people are reacting to, like, how people are reacting to the news, if it makes any sense. Watch how people react to, like, how people are reacting. And that's noteworthy because they're not reacting to that. They're instead of the news itself, the focus is how we're reacting to it, and that's bad. I don't like that at all. It should be the actual event and progress we need to make. So it's kind of weird that we always talk about how we're reacting to something rather than the actual issue itself. So that's something I would just keep note of all of these new ever-present issues, is maybe not the reaction, but maybe the issue itself. So
yeah, if you haven't noticed, the world is still hell, but here we are, trapped in this realm.
It's pretty hellscape right now.
Anything? It's a terrible jumping off point, but does anybody have anything to plug this week?
Oh, we're doing Around the Controller tomorrow. It's been a while, like actually been a fucking while.
I think it actually has been a month.
Yeah, I think it's been a month just between schedules and being kind of burnt out and stuff. So Around the Controller tomorrow, same time as this show, I believe. I think 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern is the plan. Where we will talk about game mechanics that we're surprised are not all over the place.
I do have... I guess I should plug the D&D show because Fisher's not here. We did the 5th, I think, recording of our actual play D&D 5e campaign, Tales from Runeterra. Next week should be the final episode of the current arc. We're about to face the big bad, so that's exciting.
If we don't die.
For the live recording, anyway.
Yes.
I think it'll go up a week later,
after
2 weeks later, something like that.
I think actually 2.
It depends on whether he's breaking this next one up into 2 and then the one after into 2. So who knows when it'll actually that will come out.
Very true.
Live, but next Wednesday it's live.
Please go check those out. We do have the episodes up on our YouTube, and I've got a video essay probably coming out Saturday morning on, quote, the greatest video game developer you've never heard of. So look forward to that. Because
should we know who it is right now? Are you going to give us a taste?
I know who it is because we talked about him once, and I remember.
Is it a name you could just like short? Is that give it away too much?
No, I mean, his name is Diego Angel. You've probably never heard of him.
Yes,
I have not.
But he did found Rockstar San Diego, which went on to make Red Dead Revolver. Or sorry, Revolver. He was there when they made Revolver, and then he left shortly before they made Redemption. But very cool dude. Until next time, this has been Around the Monitor.